in this video, I'm going to be talking about CD36 and how that could actually possibly be have a high potential for cancer and cancer metastasis. Also, the main fruit that I'm going to be talking about, or the star, the the fruit that is the star of the show in this video, is going to be pears. There is a SIRT1 or SIRT1, and that's actually the regulator um, of PGC1A. And PGC1A, as I've talked about a lot in my other videos, has to do with ATP production for the immune system. So pears are rich in polyphenols like flavonoids and vitamin C, which has a high anti-cancer potential, but too much vitamin C could not be a good thing, which I could cover in a different video. But pears and its compounds activates SIRT1 by enhancing NAD plus availability and reducing oxidative stress. So pears are great for the immune system because the immune system demands a lot, and I mean a ton, of ATP for many different immune system functions. Also upregulates PGC1A, supporting mitochondrial biogenesis. Okay, now there's also nitric oxide. Nitric oxide actually can enhance SIRT1 activity, therefore more ATP for the immune system. But excessive reactive oxygen species can degrade nitric oxide, therefore less ATP for the immune system. But pears with polyphenols and antioxidants may support nitric oxide bioavailability by reducing oxygen species. Therefore, no oxygen species to reduce ATP. Okay, now on to the elephant in the room, and that is CD36, which is a scavenger receptor on macrophages and even on cancer cells. So CD36 binds oxidized LDL, promoting inflammation, foam cell formation, and atherosclerosis. But pears and the polyphenols in pears may downregulate CD36 expression, which is critical and a huge benefit of pears, therefore reducing oxidized LDL uptake. So the lowering of CD36 also shifts the balance away from pro-inflammatory signaling, such as less VCAM1, ICAM1. So cancer cells, during metastasis or spreading to other organs, they use VCAM1 and ICAM1. But of course, pears can reduce that from happening. Okay, so normally what happens if CD36 isn't downregulated is that CD36 binds oxidized LDL and pulls it into macrophages. Uh, I've talked a lot about macrophages in other videos, but and then these macrophages, they turn into foam cells. Also, if pears are downregulating CD36, the effect is less vascular inflammation and slower atherosclerosis progression, or less plaque in the heart. So pears are great for the heart. And uh, this reduction of atherosclerosis can happen even if some oxidized LDL still circulates, since the macrophages aren't clearing the oxidized LDL if there is less CD36. Another great benefit of pears is that as a result of reducing CD36 expression and activating mitochondrial function, there is also an increase in fatty acid oxidation. So instead of storing fat, which is what the foam cells would have done, the cells burn the fat more efficiently. This is especially critical in hostile tumor microenvironments where tumors are taking up glucose and using up nutrients, leaving none for T cells and other immune cells. So tumors, they also take up arginine away from T cells, leading to arginine depletion, and T cells also need arginine. But T cells can use fatty acids as an alternative fuel source if there are no other fuel sources. Okay, in atherosclerosis, The plaque formation is actually caused by VCAM1 and ICAM1, which is what Pears can reduce or lower. And these adhesion molecules are expressed on endothelial cells. So what the VCAM1 and ICAM1 does is that they recruit immune cells, like monocytes T cells, and then they help them stick to blood vessel walls, enabling migration into tissue, then inflammation, then plaque formation. And in cancer metastasis, circulating tumor cells, they bind to VCAM1, ICAM1 on endothelium and helps them dock at distant organs when cancer cells metastasize to distant organs. And they also use these molecules of VCAM1, ICAM1 to cross vessel walls and enter tissues, forming metastases. But of course, if pairs are lowering CD36, then downstream it's also lowering VCAM1, ICAM1 expression. Therefore, less adhesion or less chances of cancer cells traveling to distant organs. Okay, so another problem with CD36 is that this gives metastatic cells an energy advantage in new environments. This is because CD36, as a membrane receptor, it imports long-chain fatty acids into cells. This means that metastatic cancer cells, they often switch toward fatty acid oxidation, or FAO in short, rather than glucose metabolism. This is a problem with high-fat diets such as the ketogenic diet, unless if pears are included with the keto diet to reduce the CD36 expression, therefore making it safe to have or to increase fats in the diet. So CD36 also helps circulating tumor cells to survive long enough to seed metastases. And this is because when tumor cells leave the primary site, which is with the help of ICAM1, VCAM1, they face stress such as oxidative damage, and but CD36 mediated lipid uptake provides the substrates, generating NADPH, and then helping neutralize reactive oxygen species that would have attacked or disabled the tumor cells. Okay, CD36 activity is linked to stem-like properties and tumor-initiating capacity. And here's the big one here. Exposure to dietary fats, such as palmitic acid, can further enhance this phenotype. Foods high in palmitic acid are palm oil. If you look at the ingredients list, you'll find palm oil in a lot of the foods that I've seen. Also, fried chicken, processed foods, such as potato chips, baked goods. Also, it can even be found in meats such as red meat. Palmitic acid can even be found in butter, cheese, and whole milk. And CD36 signaling can also include activation of pro-metastatic transcription programs, such as an open chromatin. I've talked about chromatin in other videos, and then also activation of integrins. So basically, cancer cells, they use integrins to attach or bind to VCAM1 and ICAM1, and that is how cancer cells migrate and metastasize to distant organs. So pairs are great to reduce CD36. So that's it for the video. If you're interested in more future videos, then make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe with your friends and family members with health concerns. Keep it locked in here on my channel, and I'll see you in the next video.